Here's the video I'm doing in reference to Masterpiece question. What is my definition of a ride or die? A ride or die is somebody that's going to be with you through thick and thin. You're going to be there no matter what. Whether the situation is good for you or the situation is bad for you, you're going to be there. And in my case, that's definitely what happened when it came to my husband and myself. Of course, every marriage has its ups, it has its downs. So, of course, in the beginning we had issues, but after we had been married for 17 years, he comes to me and he tells me not only that he is leaving me, but that he has gotten someone pregnant. And so I'm like, listen, I understand you got somebody pregnant, but we could do this together. We could work through this together. But he was really determined that he was leaving. If there was nothing I could say that would change his mind, that would make him feel differently. So I had to respect what he wanted. There was no need in me fighting it. So I let it be. And I had to go ahead and let him go. So he moved out, got a place for him and her. They were together, and I think he left me maybe 4 or 5 months before the baby was born, something like that. Um, and after he was gone, of course, we definitely still communicated. We spoke every day, every night. He either called or he texted me, told me he loved me, told me good night. But it, of course, it's definitely not the same as me and having my husband home. But I was still by his side. If he needed something, he knew he could call me. If he was short on cash somewhere, I had him. His car was still on our insurance. So when I paid the insurance, of course, his car insurance was getting paid for. If he needed help with his car payment when he was out of work for his surgery, guess what? I was the one he contacted. I was the one that helped him. No problem. Um, After he had been gone, his son was going to turn a year old that March. He came home that February. And in the process of him and coming home, you know, it took some getting used to for him because he had to get used to not being there with his child every day. So I'd say after a couple of months, he was a little more focused and into being at home. But, this was at 17 years of marriage that all of this occurred. But we have now been married 23 years, still together, still his ride or die. I'm still by his side. My stepson, that's my baby. That's my baby. He's here with us, if not every weekend, every other weekend. He's here during the summer. He's here during his breaks. He's here. You know, he definitely knows who his mother is, but when he's here, I'm mommy. He calls me mommy. He'll call me Wani. Wani was what we taught him when he first started learning how to talk because my name is Kawana. It was a little hard for him to say, so we just taught him Wani, and that's what he has stuck to. But that's my baby, and that's my heart. Where I go, he go. When I ride, he ride. If I'm going to the store, he wants to go. He even wants to go with me to work sometimes, and sometimes I do give him that option. But that's my baby. And when it comes to his mother, she and I have the type of relationship where we talk, we do communicate, we talk about him, what's going on with him in school. Our conversations are cordial. I don't have to deal with that's the baby mom and I don't want her in my yard, and she don't have to deal with it. He left me to go back to his wife and he was married. I don't have that going on. And a lot of women are not going to do that. But I did, and I stuck by my husband. 100%. Even after everything was done, I was still there. So we definitely have a relationship where the three of us are respectful of each other's relationship. And when it comes down to things involving their son and it's stuff that they need to talk about, I fall back. That's not my place. I fall back and I let them handle the things that they need to handle when it comes to him. But if it's something that they ask me to do, can I pick him up from school early? He has a doctor's appointment. Can I take them? Can I take him? Then they'll ask me. And I don't mind doing it because I have the flexibility in my job that they don't have. And I don't mind. That's my baby. So when it comes down to the definition of a ride or die, definitely, I would say my relationship with my husband and the way I've stood by him through thick and thin is definitely a good definition of a ride or die. And that's just a brief synopsis. of our history and where we're at now. But there were things that led us up to this point. But I'm proud to say that we were able to stick together and maintain. Oh, and I'm sure some of you may be wondering, well, does he go see baby mama? Do he go over there to see his child? Guess what? No. When his son needs to be picked up, guess who he has to go and get him? Me. So either I go and pick him up or she'll bring him. So I'm not concerned about him and messing with her. I just don't have time for that. And if that was something I was going to be concerned about, then I never would have continued to stick by his side. So I'm not concerned about that. For those of you that ask me how I could do it, I did it because I loved him. And I had to make the determination whether or not my marriage was worth it, whether or not my relationship was worth it, and whether or not this fight for what we have was worth it. And I made the decision that it was. You know, to some, they may say, no, 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 you could have done better. You could find somebody else. And I probably could have, but this is the man that I chose to love. I married him at 22. I am now 45 years old. I love him more today than I loved him yesterday. And I'll love him more tomorrow than I love him today. So, Master P, here's your definition of a ride or die. Thanks.